Good afternoon. Does anyone remember Jade Helm, 2015, President Obama? It was a military exercise between Army Green Beret, Navy SEALs, Air Force Special Operations, and they threw a couple Army infantry in there too, just in case they ever became ICE agents in the future. Because this operation it was to practice moving tactically through urban environments, through populated civilian environments, to practice search, seize, apprehend style operations in civilian environments. That's what Operation Jade Helm was there to do. It was conducted also ironically in the southern and border states, which at the time didn't seem to raise any real alarms. Why are they doing it down there? Oh, could be this, could be that. Then we had the Biden presidency letting all the illegals in. And now you have the Trump administration wiping them all back out with ICE in the same fashion. This has been practiced by our government. What's the scariest part about this is that this goes back to 2015, meaning that's Obama. Then Trump took over. Then Biden took over. Now Trump is back in. And it's just this systematic, little by little, you practice Jade Helm, you flood America with illegals. Now you go in and get them with ICE. Now you have a functional unit that is trained and has gotten very good at going into people's houses and grabbing people out. You might think, well, all right, but that's just ICE. Once they get all of them, they're good. Well, no, that sort of a machine doesn't just go away. That sort of a machine is what's going to be used when we refuse to take the vaccines, or the mark of the beast, or the chip. It doesn't go away. It just gets more integrated. Talking about other integration that's been happening, or disintegration is more like it. The Hegseth coming out, his big thing about beards and trans and how the military is going to be moving forward. And then Musk comes out and bashes Netflix for a trans cartoon that actually was canceled back in 23, but he's deciding to put his foot down now about it. It's funny how we didn't hear anything from anyone after Cuties came out. I would hearken that would be a more righteous reason to boycott somewhere for the exploitation of underage kids for sexual gratification versus just I understand the concept. Like, you don't want a kid's cartoon whose main character is a transgender. Obviously, there's an agenda there. I get it. But at the same time, no one said jack shit when Cuties came out. I mean, yeah, they said some shit, but no one was like, well, Musk didn't say I'm going to boycott Netflix, that's for sure. But now you got ones like Ted Cruz coming out and just slipping in little bits here and there, we need to stop this. The crowd goes, yeah. We need to stop this. The crowd goes, yeah. And we need to stop attacking pedophiles. So I'm just gonna let that one sit there for a minute. Read into it what you will. You got Trump trying to move on, brush past. You guys are still talking about the Epstein files? Move on, it's old news. Same administration who says, oh, you're gonna get it. They're on my desk. I'm about to release them. And then the next day, nothing gets released. And then it's, oh, we're gonna have to go after this guy because I guess they weren't on my desk when I expected them. Oh. And then it's, you guys are still paying attention to that? Move on. And then later on down the line, when it's still getting brought up, it's, oh yeah, there really wasn't anything there. Yeah. Nothing to worry about. Just go about your... Here. What kind of a distraction do you guys need? Do you need a war? Do you need a... What do you need? We got them on tap. Distractions. I mean, how many times are we just going to sit here and blindly wait 50 years for the actual truth to come out? How many times do we have to see that happen in assassinations and inside jobs and 9/11 before we say, you know what, this structure just isn't working anymore? We just cannot rely on this. We can't trust the structure who's been killing and underhandedly just profiting, just sole purpose is to, what, gather it all in. How much can I get? How big can my arms wrap around this chunk that I took for myself? That's the only goal, the only motivating behind everything they do. A politician is not going to do something unless it suits his best interests. That's just bottom line. And as long as there's profits to be made in politics, there will be no, I can't even say there will be no government, because I don't agree with the idea of governance. I mean, I get it. People are bad. Bad people need to be dealt with. Bad people need to be kept out of your borders. But literally, when it's the bad people who are creating the borders and literally keeping you in, you're a fish in a bucket now. You're not a free fish. You may think you are, but the illusion, the smoke show, is just to keep you swimming around in that bucket doing laps, making you think it's the whole pond. They don't want you to see the whole pond. Shit. They don't even want you to understand that that pond is within a larger celestial body of... They don't want you to understand any of that. They only want you to understand the water that you're in, because that's all you need to survive. So you have just enough to keep you happy and keep you content, keep you from freaking out, like, you're not going to get... The water's too warm, too hot, not enough oxygen, keep you right at stasis, just right where you need to be. Keep you a little sick, and then make you pay to get yourself better. But it's a gradual process that just keeps you coming back. The sickness is in your fish flakes. It's in your Betamin or whatever. And then the cure is just another switch to turn your brain off. It's not a fix for anything. And that keeps you sick. Might fix the symptoms, but it doesn't touch the cause. It's absolutely crazy how shitty the food is. Like, I never saw it growing up. I just saw when people called it junk food, it was literally like, oh yeah, it's food that's got preservatives in it so it can sit on a shelf, but really it's just the same old bread. It's just got that extra preservative in it. Well, to an extent. So it's not just the sugar or the preservatives. Sugar is a preservative, by the way. A lot of people would think is counterintuitive, because you would think, oh, wouldn't food still go bad even if it's got sugar in it? All of the crap that's in those packages that sits on the shelf for months, don't put that in your body. That is the worst thing possible for your body. It's literally toxic. Like, you think, oh, toxic means that it'll kill me if I eat it. No, it's not toxic in that sense. It's toxic in the sense of that the way that your body responds to it isn't like when your body gets food in it, it's like good food in it, like good healthy fats, healthy proteins, healthy vitamins and stuff. It's like it's an explosion of energy through your body and your cells, and it embraces that energy and moves it all through your body. When you eat something out of a box, your body knows it's crap. The preservatives screw with your digestion of it, and it's usually laden with so much fat, carbs, and oils and sugars and all the worst damn things for you. That, yeah, it might fill your stomach, and yeah, it might taste decent, or like even Hamburger Helper can taste good, but what they're trying to mimic, it doesn't taste anything like. Have you had stroganoff? Have you had stroganoff Hamburger Helper? Two wildly different things. But in a pinch, yeah, Hamburger Helper, stroganoff, you get the basic idea. But it's not worth it for all of that chemical process crap that's in there and what it does to your body and the cycle of it passing through. Once it's done, yeah, you go back to normal, you eat healthy the next day, it's done again. But then the next time you do that, you're putting that unhealthy energy back in your body with I'm not a health expert, but you can feel a difference. Like, if you take a break from eating anything that is shelf stable, like for a week, just eat nothing but food that you have to cook either on the spot, eat it raw, or eat it like, not nothing shelf stable, but nuts and peanut butter and stuff is obviously fine, but nothing that's gonna be like, I'm not even saying Little Debbie because of the sugar, I'm saying Little Debbie because of the preservative and chemical makeup of their cake itself. Like, it's not just the sugar. The sugar's bad enough, and that's its own realm of toxicity for you. It's the cake itself, the ingredients, the flour, the finely sifted and processed and mixed together, and chemical reactions and olefins and all these crap that they're putting in there just to make that thing sit on the shelf longer, just to make them make more money off of it. Literally, if they had to cook it fresh for you and have it on the shelf within a week before it spoils and get it into your home and you eat it, there would be no business in it. The business is in the preservation of it, and the preservation of it is what takes away from the value of it for you, the consumer. You're paying more for the preservation so that it can sit on the shelf, so that the manufacturer can make top dollar off of it 3 months down the line when you finally buy it. That's bullshit. It's a backwards misconception. Oh, my shit's dying. Hang on. Last time it died and I didn't notice, I had a hotspot going and I was watching something, streaming, my phone up high to get reception, and I was beaming the hotspot down, and so I hear it vibrate. I look up, dead phone, like blank screen completely, but it kept that hotspot on and that Wi-Fi going to the bitter end all the way to 0% battery. Good deal. But no, wow, I'm actually gonna probably have to go back and see what we were talking about. Why it's there, keeping us sick, keeping us going back to the health system, keeping us low energy, feeling just not having much, so feeling very depleted. You're gonna be more suggestible, especially to further discomfort. Like, if you're already feeling in a state of discomfort and someone says you could do this and it's going to get uncomfortable for you, or you could do this and it'll be less uncomfortable for you, you're gonna obviously pick the thing that's the least uncomfortable. But oftentimes it's the option that, the people that are doing the manipulating, it's the option that they want you to choose, is the one that you're steered towards, obviously. And so when you're at wit's end, your back's against the wall, you just don't have any more energy to think, you're just, yep, okay, fine, whatever's gonna hurt me the least in this immediate instance, or whatever's gonna hurt me the least in the long run. But if we were able to take the time for ourselves that we need to clear, to cultivate our aligned, centered energy within us and come at it from a level perspective, the decisions we make, we might choose discomfort because we know that it'll get more comfortable. We'll deal with the comfort ahead up front, but it'll in the long run be more comfortable. But if we're in the position of discomfort and we say, oh, more discomfort, no, I can't even handle that right now, I'll take the less discomfort now, and I just won't even pay attention to the fact that it's going to be more uncomfortable for me in the future. That's the problem. It takes away your sovereignty to make good decisions for yourself, and it replaces it with decisions that they already wanted you to make in the first place. They just had to narrow your field of view a little bit. It's gross, it's disgusting, the way that they manipulate people. And the only way out of it is waking up to it. That's the first step, anyway. So if you're still with me, I applaud you, because I know this wasn't the most concise message ever, but there are so many more messages like this that need to come out, that you need to hear, that I need to speak, that I need to record, that sometimes I have a hard time finding the structure for it. A lot of times I psych myself out, like, all right, I'm going to say it just this certain way, or maybe I should write it down first so that I remember it all, or I say it in a certain way. And then I either end up reading it like a robot, not reading what I wrote down. It turns into a mess. So I do much better when it's open format. Maybe have some notes written down or something, but it can get, I guess, multi-topical, if that's even a thing. I mean, there's so much more. Every single day, I used to watch this guy. His name is Dabu. This show on D Live. He would go live 3 times a week for a couple hours a night, and he'd just talk about just shit post the government. Just, oh, what are they doing? This is the conspiracy. This is what I think is actually happening. And I used to eat that shit up. Woke up recently, and although I do occasionally turn Dabu's program on, I find it to be it's like there's places where people like Dabu go to get their news, and that's news to them. And then so when they read their news, the people that follow Dabu, the people that follow Dabu, get their news from certain people like Dabu. There's like a multi-step. So like, if Dabu's watching Alex Jones, you're getting Alex Jones's information through Dabu, the multi-tier thing. So at first, like when I first was introduced to Dabu, I thought, oh yeah, he's talking about stuff that no one talks about. Like not even, I mean, at the time I was getting most of my news from Alex Jones. And like, you know, just kind of a blend of what sounds like it's not bullshit, you know. And then Dabu came out, and I was like, wow. Started kind of, you know, there's analysis, and then there's just straight up fantasy. And I find that since I awakened, I can obviously see truth a lot easier now, and I'm seeing when fantasy is injected in his content a lot more, and when speculation and even far-fetched type things kind of surface in some of his speculation. And it's something to be aware that there is information out there that presents as truth. Obviously, all information wants to present as truth, but in the light of they're telling you there's disinformation out there, but yet they're also smearing on their own brand of it at the same time. So it's just how much I'm not saying that Dabu is intentionally misleading people for some sort of benefit to himself, but and of course there's some theater that has to come. He's got to keep an audience, so I mean he's got to keep people who are prone to maybe those deeper conspiracies, or just prone to hearing kind of fantastical stories and not really questioning the source, you know, to the extent of that they're not really coming out after Dabu like, you didn't really just say that, did you? Like some things like well, I'll leave specifics out of it, but you kind of get the drift that sometimes you can see when there's a desire to read into something more than it actually is, just for the sake of making it a news piece. When you read, you manufacture lines between the lines to read between in order to try to have something to talk about. You know, I see some of that coming out in his content, so I don't know, but what was I saying about Dabu? Dabu is the one that turned me on to Jade Helm. I mean, I've been following him I pretty much, during Obama, Alex Jones, constantly, every single day. I had a black book on Obama. I was keeping notes. But then Trump got elected, and I just stopped listening to Alex Jones. I stopped it all. I just kind of took a break. I was like, man, you know, this politics really stressed me out. I should get back to living and enjoying life. And kind of got lazy with it. And then COVID. And then fucking Biden. So, you know, I've been watching Dabu for a long time, but, you know, everyone matures. And, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say about him, but, whatever it was, I'm sure it was just that. I should start making notes. During that Jade Helm kind of era, 2015 and late Obama presidency, there was a lot of talk about FEMA camps and FEMA coffins and military movements happening. There was a ton of that going on. And, you know, now that I'm seeing some of the structure of Jade Helm surfacing, we're seeing it in the ICE raids, which are still ongoing. And, you know, what happens to that infrastructure after they've rounded them all up? Do you think they just go home and become nice ICE agents now? Or is that the perfect time to roll out the mass reset that we're all hearing about? The big economic thing that's going to happen this next year. And the necessity for security in our country, and the necessity for financial security through the inception of digital chips and stuff. The mark of the beast, the chip they want us all to have. And that way everything can be tracked. And or the incentive-based structure to have some sort of a brain-enhancing circuitry added so that you can interface with AI more easily and stuff like that. I don't know how they're going to roll it out, but it's the dissenters, the people who refuse to participate in this new version of America that we're seeing unfold before us, that ICE will make a resurgence, and the FEMA camps, the FEMA coffins, all that stuff was preparation. I mean, that didn't just because we're not hearing about the stuff moving around and we're not seeing the trains of military equipment being moved through the country as much. I mean, that stuff still exists. It's still there. It's being ready. It's being readied to be rolled out. So, you know, just be wary of that when the media and the news has managed to get you so pissed off about all the illegals that they just let into our country with open borders. Any citizen would be pissed off by that. That's like flooding the stock market with bullshit stocks, and that devalues the stock of everyone else. Everyone else's stock gets devalued. It's just dilution. It's diluting the market. That's what they were doing. They let them in wide open, and you were racist unless you went along with it. And if you didn't, you were racist and selfish. You're selfish too. You have no heart. But they're literally flooding the job market, and people were righteous in being upset because they already didn't make enough. And now they're being told that all these people coming in the country are making it even harder for them to make money. Of course they're going to be pissed. So then what? Then Daddy Trump comes in and says, it's going to be all okay, I'll build a wall. And then I'm going to go around and I'm going to round them all up and get them out of here for you. And you think, thank you, your savior. But what is that doing? That's training a whole organization on how to go through our communities and round people up and put them somewhere. Just think about that. So I think I'm going to leave it there with that one. Seems like a good place to leave it. So until next time, never stop spreading your light.